We have a special guest this week. Nick Nittoli, you guys. This dude, I don't know, some guy with like 120,000 followers or something hits me up and goes, "Hey, can I be on your podcast?" I was like, "Sure." I didn't know really who he was. I mean, I checked his Instagram out for a minute, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm a clout chase on Nick Nittoli," and had an amazing conversation with this guy, learning who he was. He's a producer, songwriter, artist, performer, giant conspiracy theorist. Like he like believes in like lizard people and shape shifting, and funny enough, doesn't know anything about flat Earth. I don't understand how he hasn't met that world yet, but he'll get there soon enough, I'm sure. And I messed up, you guys. During this podcast, he tells me he was on a reality TV show. And I was like, oh, no way. And he tells me which one. It was called Platinum Hits or Platinum Hit. And it was on Bravo. I mean, it was like 10 years ago or something. And he was after talking to him and talking about it a little bit. I went on Prime, Amazon Prime or something like that, and bought it. And it was like $12 to buy the season. And I texted him. I was like, all right, I hope this is worth $12. He goes, it is. And you guys, it's so good. Oh, like you have to watch this, or listen to this podcast clearly first. You have to. You're already here. I mean, you don't have to. But listen to this podcast with him and then go find Platinum Hit on Bravo and watch him. He's so good on there. He's the villain. And it's like he plays such a great role. And it's just a fun, like, American Idol, America's Got Talent or something, like reality, real world type cross vibe to it. It's fun. It's trashy. It's dumb. It's fun. Jewel, you guys all remember this singer Jewel? She hosts it and looking like a dime. Oh my gosh, it was 10 years ago. Wonder what she looks like now. I have to Google that. But I did go on a little Jewel rant in this episode that I thought was kind of just came out of nowhere. It was funny. Anyways. Nick Nittoli, this dude's awesome. He's great. He's from LA. Find him on Spotify. Find him on YouTube. Find him on Instagram. Just find him. This was a whole lot of fun. You guys are going to like this. And if you're new, if this is like your first time checking the show out, hit that subscribe button. You don't ever have to listen again. Just hit that subscribe button for me. Give me those numbers, baby. Let's make it rain up in here. That's it, everybody. I hope you guys enjoy this episode. Without any further ado, Nick Nittoli, episode 36 or something.
Welcome to the Inner Talk Podcast. We'll no topic is off. Now here's your host, my daddy, and Roy the Soul. Thank you for coming to the Inner Talk Podcast. Boom, twat, boom.
In 3, 2, 1. Nick Nittoli. My name is Ryan Westa. This is Neanderthal Podcast. This is the hardest podcast in Kansas City, and I'd like to welcome you here from LA.
Yes, sir.
Dope, man.
Hollywood out.
Dude, have you been out there for your whole life?
I moved from New Jersey to Hollywood when I was like a young boy, so I pretty much grew up out here, but I have Jersey roots.
Okay. Okay. I don't know. This is the first time I talked to a lot of rappers, like local Kansas City rappers.
I saw that.
So this is like my first chance to kind of talk to someone outside of that general area. So that's cool. But how'd you find about my podcast to begin with?
Instagram, man. I found you on Instagram, and then I just jumped on your page. I saw that you were representing a lot of independent hip hop artists, and you knew about Too Short and stuff like that. So I figured it'd be a good matchup.
Oh, dope. Yeah, Too Short, man. I grew up with him. Not with him literally, just growing up listening to his music.
Right on.
Oh, that's cool, man. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 33, getting up there, man.
Yeah, I'm 41. I'm up there too. How'd you get started in the rap game?
So I've always been doing music. That's just like something that runs in my family. My grandparents are songwriters who wrote a song for Frank Sinatra called Here's to the Band. So I grew up looking at.
No way, dude.
Yeah.
You got roots to go into Sinatra. How dope is that? It's in your blood. Dope.
Big shoes to fill, man. Big shoes to fill. So they kind of got me into it originally, and then the hip hop thing was, I've only been rapping professionally, quote unquote, for like the past 2 to 3 years, and I chose hip hop because I had the most opportunity to say stuff, about politics and racial issues, etc. Like I felt like I couldn't really speak that much of my mind if I was doing like a pop song or a country song, etc.
Oh yeah, country. I think would be a way to go just for like, because it'd be completely different. You know, it's filled with all white people singing about the same stupid shit. It's about their Ford trucks and their women and drinking
Right.
beer and going to the beach. Like it's
Right.
very
But lyrically, I had the most space with hip hop to kind of just, run, a bunch of lyrics in a song, as opposed to a 3-minute time space in a pop song. You really don't have that much time to really affect somebody with your words.
okay. I checked out your latest album today. I cooked dinner and finished the whole album. Lil Nicky,
Oh, awesome, man.
right? It's Lil Nicky.
Yeah. Well, that's actually not the latest one. I have
Oh,
a
okay.
country album that I just dropped, called "Songs from Out of Your Mother's Country." So
Wait, are you for real?
Yeah.
Wait, you got a country album?
Yeah, it's full blown country too.
Oh my God, sorry, I was just shitting all over country and you got a country album. I mean, I'm not gonna apologize that hard. I don't like country. I
Well,
can't
it's cool,
handle
man.
it.
It was kind of like me trying something out, and then I just dropped another R&B album that just came out as well. So
Okay, well, I guess the latest one that I found on Spotify was the Lil Nicky one, I guess.
Lil Nicky, dope.
And you won me over because nobody likes that movie. I love that movie.
Dude.
And your album cover, like with you sitting like, dude, I mean, I was like, this dude is badass. Like, I don't even have to listen to his music yet. Like, I like this guy.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah,
I love that movie, man.
It's very underrated. Like, I think that
Very underrated.
To me, that might be Adam Sandler's last good movie.
I agree. He the storyline of that movie really has never been done before. It's very original as far as conceptually goes. Visually, it looked amazing. You had a bunch of stars in it. Like, I think it's a terrific movie.
Yeah, phenomenal. Do you have any plans on trying to do? I mean, you look like a busy guy. I mean, you're in R&B, hip hop, country.
Yeah.
Are you trying to get into movies? You got anything like that? I've seen you got some good music videos out there. I watched your videos today.
My family, again, is in the family business of acting as well. So my grandfather is Joe Pesci's stand-in and has been his stand-in for the past 20 years. So anytime you don't see Joe Pesci, it's my grandfather. So when he stabs him with the pen in Casino, that's my grandfather. I grew up with Joe Pesci around my house. He's like my godfather. So acting has always been something that I eventually want to dive into. I just kind of want to, use this pretty face while I can with the hip hop stuff, and then eventually dive into acting. Sure.
Right. Yeah. Well, exercise, eat your vitamins, stay out of the sun, all that stuff. So you're gonna wow. How nice is that you get to take advantage of just kind of being in the family with that? That's got to be, how cool is that? It
it's
must
very
be inspiring.
For sure. At the end of the day, they like I said, they have big shoes to fill. Like, our modern day Frank Sinatra is probably like one of the biggest and top artists in the world. So it's not like they're impressed that I'm working with so-and-so and little this and little that. They don't give a shit. You know what I mean? I don't really impress them that much.
Right. Who would you say is our Frank Sinatra right now?
Man. Gosh, I hate to call it Drake, but I'd probably say Drake is like the modern day Frank Sinatra of our time.
Yeah. I mean, he came to mind too. I was going to say
by popularity.
I would maybe say Justin Bieber.
Yeah, Justin Bieber, for sure. Justin Bieber, a couple of years back, it was like Justin Timberlake.
Oh, shit. Yeah, Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
He's like,
Bruno Mars, I think, as far as talent goes, I'd have to give it to Bruno Mars, man, because he's just excellent. He's got an amazing voice. I love his music. I love his vibe. But he kind of like disappeared in the past couple of years. I haven't seen him around, so.
No, what is he doing? Just living off that money?
I think so.
Okay. I don't follow a ton of pop stuff. I really like local hip hop. I try to listen to as much, but I listen to everything.
Yeah.
But didn't Bruno Mars kind of go through something like, weren't they kind of like pulling some almost cancel culture shit on him, like some cultural appropriation stuff? Was
Oh,
that
did
Bruno
not hear that.
Mars?
It might have been. I didn't hear that though.
Is he like part Filipino or something?
Yeah, yeah. Or he's actually, I think he's Hawaiian.
Okay. So he's some kind of islander, Pacific Islander. I
Yeah,
think they were, I could be so wrong, but for some reason it's coming to my head that there was some kind of, some of that little too far woke shit where there's
right.
like, you know what, you're not fully black. You shouldn't be doing like this kind of music. You're Filipino. Why are you kind of ripping this? I think it was like kind of like some shit along that line.
Right.
And
That's
so
crazy.
maybe that's kind of why he's like, you know what? I don't need this. Like, I got stacks. Like, I got so much money. I can go on a beach with a supermodel, do whatever, drink what I want, smoke what I want, just live in
Yeah,
peace. I don't need this crap. I'm gone.
yeah. I wouldn't blame him, man. This cancel culture is out of control right now. I mean, if they're coming for Pepe Le Pew, I wouldn't put it past them to go after Bruno Mars as well. They're canceling Mr. Potato Head right now. It's like, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, and it's not going to stop. Like, I mean, it's going to have to stop. Eventually, the pendulum is going to change, right? Like, it's just swinging right
Yeah,
now, and it's going pretty extreme left. I mean, they just can't, you're right. They're canceling Pepe Le Pew. They're
yeah.
canceling Mr. Potato Head. But if you did notice, there has been some pushback, like within the past couple of days since the Grammy. Was it the
Sure.
Grammy?
Yeah,
With
yeah, because those performances were way worse than anything Pepe Le Pew ever did.
and that's their point. That's what they're
Why?
saying. They're saying you got WAP up there,
Yep.
scissoring each other, and you guys are celebrating that.
Hey,
But yet
man.
you're gonna throw out Pepe Le Pew, that's been a staple of the United States for, I don't know, 50 years, 60 years.
Yeah.
How long's
Yeah.
Pepe been around?
Yeah, probably around that 50, 60 years, something like that. And I'm on the exact same page, man. It makes no sense that we're watching, girls get up and literally scissor each other and make sexual references to a very sexual song. And that's supposed to be family appropriate television programming. It's just complete bullshit, man.
Right. I'm not gonna boycott the video. I liked WAP. That's a damn good video. I'll watch
All
it on
right.
my own time, but you guys can't be celebrating that at the same time canceling a cartoon.
Yeah. Yeah,
Can't do it.
agreed.
It's gotta be
I
hard
mean,
for you.
yeah, I saw a meme the other day that was like, it was a picture of Frosty the Snowman, and the meme said, "How much longer until they realize that Frosty is a grown adult wearing no pants around children?"
I
So
saw
it's
that. I
like,
saw that one.
you know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's like, I think it's going to bounce back to just normality again, because it's so ridiculous that if we really are going to call everybody out, you're going to take so much music down off iTunes. You're going to take so many movies down off Paramount Plus. It just makes no sense. It's like, I hate to say that it's a lot like Nazi Germany, but burning the books. But it really is, seems at this point that it's a control system trying to get rid of stuff so that they can just be in full control of what we
Damn.
read, write, listen to, etc.
Bro, I didn't expect that from you.
Yeah, I'm all about it.
Wow. Is that that's not probably the easiest stance to have living in
Oh
Hollywood.
no. Oh no, it's not
and,
whatsoever.
and being in the entertainment industry especially. I guess maybe since you have some family cred, maybe you
I
can
do.
kind of get a little bit away with it. Is your
Yeah, I
family
mean,
on your side, or are they on, like, are they out of it? You just kind of do your own thing, but like, hey, I do have a little cred here, like.
yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, my family's had a lot of success in the entertainment industry, and that obviously has helped me to some point get to where I am today. But they're not really on board with the stuff that I send them either. So it's just kind of like, I've always made my career based off of me just being a guy who hustles. Do you know what I mean? Like when I was working with Snoop
Oh,
Dogg,
I can tell. Like, like I said, I don't know much about you, and you're just telling me that you got like this family history, but
Yeah.
you reached out to me. I'm a nobody. I'm a nobody podcast. It's for real. I'm a nobody podcast in Kansas City, and you
Hey
reached
man,
out to me to
you're
come. So
somebody.
Well, for sure. But I mean, in the grand scheme of things, like you came to me to find me out. That to me means you're hustling. You're not just working off the name. You're not just, working off the name of your family. You're like hustling. You're putting in the work. That's like
Yeah, big
respect
time.
for people that do that.
I've made my career off just being a complete avid hustler of this music industry. Like when I was working with Snoop Dogg, I wasn't signed. A lot of these artists that are on my credit list, I was not involved with the label. I was working out of an independent label, and then eventually, caught the likes of Warner Chappell Music Publishing, bump into Genius Music, got signed to a record deal and a publishing deal. And yeah, I've just been operating off of that success. But at the same time, I don't really expect any favors. I do everything for the most part myself.
How do you make your money as far as an artist? Because just from what I look, I know very, very little about the business. So I'll just go off kind of what things I hear. Like the most money, like the money artists make, the most money is like touring and performing. Like that's how you make your money personally.
Sure.
And is that true with you? Is that like the best way to make your
No,
money? No, okay.
not at all. So I'm a music producer and a songwriter first, and that's how I came into this business off of the TV show Platinum Hit on Bravo. That kind of gave me my foot in the door, a little bit of cred, some fame, so that I could attract more songwriters and more producers who wanted to work with me. But I really make most of my money off independent artists who are trying to get leveled up in the game and are willing to have me produce or write a song for them for X amount of dollars, and
Okay.
the X is usually a high number. So I've just been accumulating a lot of wealth based off of people that want to work with a producer who's worked with Snoop Dogg or French Montana, etc. Somebody who's been on national television, and somebody who's obviously signed to Warner Chappell Music Publishing. That helps a ton.
Oh, okay. So your main deal is producing. Is that like your main love?
Yeah, it's not my main love.
What's your main love?
Is artist project, 100%, man.
Is what artist project?
Yeah, I love to be the artist and write songs that are for me and put them out and promote them, etc. That's my passion. But in order to make ends meet, I've always had to kind of produce and write for other artists here and there all across the world.
Man, how do you get, like, it's got to be so hard to just, I mean, even if you do have a name to fall back on a little bit, you still have to have the talent. Like, when was your first break? Like, how did you get hooked up with was Snoop Dogg your first break, or what was your first?
Yeah, I mean, I would consider my first break being in 2011 when I got cast on the Bravo reality TV show called Platinum Hit.
Whoa, you were on a reality TV show?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
How can I watch that?
Like,
is it on? Can I find it somewhere?
Yeah. It's Bravo TV Platinum Hit is what it's called.
Hold on, I got to write this down. Let me get my paper. I'm gonna watch this.
Yeah.
Is it trashy?
Oh yeah. Oh, and I'm the worst. I talk shit about everybody for the entire season. They all hate me. They all just band against me. Like,
I love trash. Okay, it's on it's Bravo.
Yeah, Bravo's Platinum Hit.
Platinum Hit.
It was actually one of Bravo's worst TV shows. They did not do a second season of it, and they spent a lot of money because we had Jewel as the host.
Oh my God, I love Jewel. That's one of my Jewel? Oh, it was one of my early crushes back in the day.
Pretty hot, man.
Oh, she's so hot and she's got a crazy story too. Like her life story.
Oh yeah, no, she was like sleeping in a car and homeless and stuff. So I respected the fact that she came up literally from nothing.
And she came from like didn't she come from like some crazy Alaskan family?
Yeah, she's from Alaska.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all real.
Yeah, I love a good story like that. And you see that story and I can hear it now. I'm 41. I grew up watching her. Like I remember watching her in high school, thinking how beautiful I saw her in concert back in, I think 1996.
Oh wow. Where at? Kansas City?
No. Dallas, Fort Worth. Okay. It was the Blockbuster Music Fest.
Okay.
At the Dallas Fort Worth Speedway, the raceway. Wow. You remember, Bush? It was Bush.
Of course. Gavin Rossdale, man. Classic.
No Doubt.
Wow.
Sugar Ray.
Oh my God. You got some Mark McGrath.
Counting Crows.
Counting Crows? That's a show, dude.
oh my God, the Nixons. No, not the Nixons. Maybe the Nixons. Yeah, the Nixons. Oh my God, there was a few other ones that I can't from. Yeah, there were a few other ones that were big names.
Crazy.
Like it was like the thing, and it was like free to get in. It was insane, dude. It was,
Wow. Concert?
oh, it was insane. But so
And gotta
yeah,
appreciate the 90s, dude.
yeah, growing up like being a kid in the '90s, like it was fun, man. Like I love like I'm a little slightly older than you, so I got a slightly different experience. I had some
Right.
like '90s was a great decade to be 16, 17, 18, 19.
For sure.
Really good time. Really good time. You know, the
Yeah, we
internet
don't.
wasn't really there, but yeah.
Right. We're not putting on concerts like that anymore. You'll be lucky to get one Lil that you know nowadays, and it's going to cost you $200.
Right. Something like that would be what's that big 2 day one out there that they have?
I'm not sure, but I know there's a big one coming up.
Yeah. Anyway, so my point of Jewel, I got sidetracked. That should be the name of my podcast is getting sidetracked. But like so growing up, you kind of hear that story and you just see Jewel as this, she's on TV, bigger than life. Like you can't really relate to her. But when you
Mm,
think about what she really like, that is a real human being that escaped some kind of fringe family in
sure.
Alaska, lived in her car to chase her dream, and then blew
Yeah.
up to be a household name.
Yeah. It's like the Hollywood dream, man. It really is.
It's amazing that that exists.
Yeah. Grammy Award winner, wrote a lot of great songs. You know, as far as her consistency, I don't know what happened, but she, in the beginning, was amazing.
Just talent, just ridiculous. She wrote, I think she was really into poetry. Like she wrote a book or something, like a poetry book or something like that.
I think she wrote a children's book or something like that. I'm not sure.
All right. Yeah, it's probably that too. Super talented.
She was pregnant when we were shooting, so she was a little what's the best word I could use, on edge as she was, you know, newly pregnant.
I'll say
But
it.
and
Hormonal.
then had her
Just all
baby,
over the
so
place. Yeah. Okay. Oh, so you got to work with Jewel on that show.
oh
How long?
yeah.
Okay. What was the, can you kind of tell the premise of the show?
Yeah,
Do you talk about the show all the time? Is it like
yeah,
boring to
yeah.
talk to you? Like I can,
No, I'm ready. I'm always ready and prepped to talk about it. There's it was like American Idol for songwriters. So you had Jewel and Carrie Diaguardi, who's one of the greatest songwriters of our time, trying to coach us, trying to coach 12 kids, and they basically taught us, you know, the rules and regulations of songwriting, and they were very harsh. You know, they would sit us up for like an hour and just grill us on why our song sucked. And looking back on it, it really did help me get to the place that I'm at today. So I'm grateful for
how old were you when you were on this show?
it. 22.
22. Okay, that's a great age to get thrown into something like that and just have these
Yeah.
people, these professionals beat you down into. Okay, so how did the show work?
So basically, we would choose a topic out of a hat and have to write like a 30-second hook about it. And then Jewel or Carrie Diaguardi or the guest, who sometimes was Ryan Tedder, Donna Summer, Jermaine Dupri, etc., would tell us who the hook winner was. And then the hook winner would choose their team to write a full song based around that hook. So it was cool. It was
I like it. It sounds
challenging.
great. I'm excited. I can't wait to watch this.
Yeah, check.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I reached out. Yeah, I would. This is cool. Damn it. I wish I would have done my homework on you before we did this. I would
Oh,
have, like, all, like,
oh,
I've been very busy this week and I honestly thought you were basically a producer and a hip hop artist. So I was like, I'm just going to listen to his stuff today
right
and
on.
watch some of his YouTube. I had no idea. I would love to have watched that because, like I said, I'm a sucker for reality TV. I reached out. There was a show that I really, really liked. It was trash. It was on VH1, The Pickup Artist.
The pickup bar. I don't think I've seen that.
Oh, watch that one. Ooh, do you have time to watch TV and get into shit like that?
Yeah, I'll check it
Okay.
out.
Okay.
The
It's
artist on VH1.
yeah, I don't know where you can find it. You can find it somewhere. Just, The Pickup Artist. And it was like, so it was this dude, he's a pickup artist. You know what, a pickup artist, like a dude that picks up chicks from bars randomly,
yeah.
right?
Right.
Well, this dude's name is Mr. E. Mystery. You know, he's like 6'6" and wears stupid hats and frilly scarves and long hair and fingernail polish, and he's just like this guru at training nerdy dudes that have a hard time with women. They come to him, Mystery, teach me how to get laid, basically.
Sure.
And so it was a TV show that they took, like, it was a reality show. They like 12 kids, or 12 dudes. 12 dudes. And they were like, some of them were like super nerdy, like dressed like the sweater and just looked gawky, like,
right,
goofy glasses and the blonde shaggy hair, like all awkward. And then it would teach these guys like how to be confident and like, all right, we're gonna dress you and like make you over and just teach you their ways. And because a lot of it's like there's a lot there's been a lot against that community, because it's a lot of based on like basically psychologically tricking women into liking you.
Yeah, this show, like, it's just about to get canceled.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, this is an older show. It's a pretty old show. And yeah, it yes, yeah, it wouldn't fly today probably. But
did the guru guy have like credentials that made him like, the guy? Like, did he go to like pick up college? Like, how do you get certified for that?
Oh, I think he probably I think he had like a successful blog or a school. Okay. One of the guys was I'm sure you know this guy, Neil Strauss.
Oh yeah.
He wrote the book, The Game.
Wow. Okay, yeah.
The Game is all about the pickup artistry, and so the show is basically based off The Game. And they had like a couple, and they had this other dude. This dude was like a Spanish dude that was buff, had his hair slicked back. He's one of the teachers. His name was Matador. And then what was the other guy? And this other dude was like kind of a skinny British dude with like super bleach blonde hair back, and he dressed kind of like a punk rocker, and his name was like Jay, and he was one of the
go for.
How many seasons?
Yeah,
I think 2.
Okay, semi-successful.
Yeah, okay. It was so good. I loved it. And anyways, I reached out to the dude on season 1 who took second place, and I don't know. I didn't hear from him, but I would love to get him. I just want to talk to him about that experience.
He said, "I'm too big for you, baby."
No,
I played second place on the pickup.
I don't think he's too big, but I think he's just out of the spot. I think he just kind of left that life. I think he's like a photographer, and I think he just really likes taking pictures. I looked at his, and this was like 2 years ago when I first started my podcast, so I could reach out again, but he only had like a couple hundred followers and didn't look really active online. So, but that's why I want to talk to him. I want to know what that experience was like and what it's been like since.
Sure.
So how far did you go on the show?
I placed 4th in the competition.
Okay.
Only to walk out after they eliminated me to the producers of the show, who basically told me, we got rid of you because we're going to sign you to RCA Records, and we're going to put an album together for you, and we're putting your project out, and we're organizing this. They basically explained that the show was pretty much fixed, and that I should not have been eliminated, which pissed me off. But I was getting a record deal with RCA at the time. I was ecstatic. I was a 22-year-old kid, so I was just looking forward to it.
Yeah. Hindsight's 2020. I'm sure you're 22. You're excited, but I would have been like, if you're gonna sign me, let me just fucking keep doing this thing. Like, I want to win.
100%. Yeah, it didn't really make sense to me.
It doesn't make sense.
I was heartbroken that I got eliminated, quote unquote, because I still believe I was the best writer on that show, and a lot of other people believe that as well. So if you watch it, I'm sure you'll DM me something like, Nick, this is fucking ridiculous. You should have won this fucking show. I mean, I was hands down the best. But the proof is in the pudding, in the sense where none of the contestants that were on that show are still doing music today.
I was just going to ask you. I was just
I'm
going
the
to
only one
ask
that's
you that.
signed. I'm the only one who's worked with top tier artists, etc. So it's, I kind of got my proof afterwards.
Why was it rigged?
Mm. Man, I think at the end of the day, they were thinking the show was going to be a lot bigger than it was, and that they wanted to make sure that the audience's choice was going to win. And there really wasn't that big of an audience for the show. At the end of the day, like, the show didn't make it to a second season. Like I said, it's one of Bravo's worst rated shows. It was edited terribly, and so they didn't really get out what they put in.
It doesn't sound like Bravo knows who they are.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, are they aware of who they are? Like,
Yeah.
they thought this was going to be like did they really think this was going to be some American Idol type thing? You're Bravo. Who the fuck watches you? Do you know who watches Bravo? It's a very small group. It's a lot of gay dudes and household women. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a very wide audience. You're not going to break American Idol or America's Got Talent or whatever that shit is. Like, know your lane.
So you're spot on, though.
Yeah, know your lane, man. I mean, it's fine. I mean, you're successful. You're on TV. You got cable, but you are what you are, and enjoy it. So did the audience vote you off, or did they vote you to win?
No. All the voting was done by 4 panel judges. 2 of them were the host, Cara DiGuardi, as I mentioned, and Jewel, and then the other 2 were guests that they would bring on. Sometimes, like I said, it was Ryan Tedder, Donna Summer, Bonnie McKee.
Okay,
hold on. McKee, who's a huge writer for like Katy Perry.
Okay. So does that mean they were told who to vote for? Like Jewel and the other people, they didn't actually vote. They were told who to vote for. They didn't get to make their own decision.
Yeah, I think the producers were in charge of everything at the end of the day.
No.
That's my own personal opinion. Oh yeah.
You gotta be kidding me. Don't tell me it's that dirty. Like, I know the music industry dirty. I know TV industry's dirty and reality TV, but now you're telling me these people are in on this conspiracy? Jewel, you're breaking my heart. You're breaking my heart, Jewel. You're going in on this conspiracy to do what? You're getting paid regardless. Why would they just choose? They're only getting paid to go along with it. Oh, come on.
Yeah, well, it's interesting about Jewel because this is not her first TV attempt. What her real dream is, I think, is to be on TV and to be one of these American Idol hosts, etc. I went back and saw that she had tried 2 or 3 other shows that just failed miserably. So this was, I think, her last attempt at TV because she hasn't been back.
That's dumb. That's why? Because she misses the limelight or something? Like, Jewel, you are so accomplished. You are a legend. You don't need TV. And if you're going to accept something and go after something, you're going to settle for Bravo? You're going to settle for the Bravo network, Jewel? I grew up on you on MTV, VH1. I bought your book. Like, I was in love with you, and you're going to sell out for fucking Bravo?
I was in love with you. That's funny.
I'm disgusted with Jewel. She's dead to me now. I'm done with Jewel.
Good.
How dare her? Ugh, come on. Don't sell out. You've already made it. Like, you've got your talent to fall back on. Like, that's how she made it. She made it based on her talent.
Yeah.
Which is what it seems to be you're doing. Purely talent.
Yeah.
Talent and hustle. And hustle's a fucking talent.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing about me is I get great opportunities and I'm obviously blessed.
I'm switching to wine now.
Okay. I outwork my talent, man. At the end of the day, it's whatever opportunity that was given to me, I'm going to work tenfold and just completely blow that opportunity to shreds by what I do on top of it. So that's, I come from a very hardworking family. We never came from much money or anything like that. So, I've got it in my blood, man.
What's your favorite Joe Pesci movie?
God, I think it's probably My Cousin Vinny.
Okay.
Just because he's so electric in that, man. That's where his acting, I feel really takes hold. Obviously, movies like Casino and Goodfellas, I grew up on. A Bronx Tale, do you know what I mean? But yeah, he really shines in that one. I just watched it recently, and he's amazing in that.
Yeah.
His dialogue is just crazy in that movie.
What about Home Alone?
That's a classic right there. I didn't think about that one.
Yeah, and Home Alone 2. Both of them.
They're both great. I just watched them during the Christmas season. I'm like, these movies still hold up. And then Donald Trump pops his ass in the fucking hotel in two. And I was just like, I totally forgot about this.
I love that part. You know what's so stupid is they fucking took him out and like what Canada edited him out. I love that movie. You know, the woke culture goes too far.
Wow.
Yeah, but
that's gonna save lives. We got him out of Home Alone 2. That's gonna change our country.
it's all a distraction, my man.
Yeah, agreed.
Do you get pushback, like active pushback for being not so woke? Like, what are do you have? Are you like what are your political? You were saying earlier that you choose hip hop to kind of voice your political opinion on certain things. I haven't delved that deep into your music yet.
Right.
Nick, I really like you. I'm going to start listening to your music very, very often. You're in my rotation for now on. I promise you that.
I appreciate that. A lot of my music is really woke, man. Like I've got a song about underground reptilian aliens and aliens controlling the world called Believer. I talk
Wait, for real?
I talk about conspiracy theories and 9/11 being an inside job in one of my songs called How It Goes. I'm assuming you haven't seen my BBC interview about QAnon and adrenochrome and all that stuff.
Okay, are you a QAnon guy?
I at the end of the day, I'm a believer in truth. I'm a believer in conspiracy theories. I'm a believer in government cover-ups and all that stuff. And I talk about it a lot in my music.
Damn, I need to listen to more. I was just listening to Little Nicky and getting into it. I will be honest with you because I have to be real. And my listeners will hold me accountable if I don't just mention this. I'm not a big. I'm 41, so I grew up on old school hip hop. I'm not a huge fan of auto-tune.
Sure.
So, but the other stuff is fine. I like the other stuff. I'm just not a big auto-tune fan, but I'm going to dive more into it. A big conspiracy guy. I like that. I had one of my biggest YouTube podcast episodes is with a flat earth conspiracy guy. We talked for a long flat earther. Like, I mean, I did it on Zoom and he had video of all his, math and all this. I don't know. Are you a flat earther?
It's the one conspiracy theory that I've never looked into. And here's the reason why. It doesn't fucking matter. If the earth is flat, that's not going to change the fact that there's a cabal that's like sacrificing people. And it's not going to change the fact that our elections have been rigged. It's not going to change the fact that JFK was murdered by the CIA.
Mm-hmm.
None of that. It just doesn't affect it. So I'm like, let's stay on this earth and let's focus on the stuff that we can prove and that we can see. If the earth is flat, that's great, but it just doesn't change anything for me.
That's funny because you guys are all this. You guys, you're all. I like a good conspiracy. I believe a lot of them.
Okay.
I don't believe all of them, but
what are some of your favorites?
What are my favorites?
Yeah.
I guess the ones that have been proven, like the Gulf of Tonkin.
Yeah.
Northwood, Operation Northwoods.
Sure.
I'm a big fan of Tower 7 and 9/11. Like I can get into that. I'm very.
You got to watch my video, How It Goes, man. I put on Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton masks. We're doing a bunch of satanic.
I saw the thumbnail. Thumbnail of that, but I didn't get a chance to watch it yet.
It's all about 9/11 being an inside job, so you'll really dig it.
I can get on board with some conspiracies around 9/11. 100%. I can get down with some of that shit.
Dope.
Because Tower 7. How do you explain Tower 7?
Exactly. You can't.
And the Pentagon. So I get into that. COVID, I believe, was started in a lab. I think it was leaked from a lab, but I don't know that that's much of a conspiracy. I think that's going to just come out with the science. I mean, it kind of mostly has.
Sure.
So anyways, why I asked is because the flat earthers, they're huge in the conspiracy theory. They believe all the conspiracies too. And their big thing is, are you kind of like in the one world government kind of, like there's a main family or a royal family, like that's kind of ruling. Okay. That's where they come from too.
Yeah.
And that they're hiding the fact that the earth is flat, because if we realized the earth was flat, that means that the Bible was right, that there was an firmament put over top of us. And so we have to accept that there is a God and that we were put here to accomplish so much more. And if we realize that, we as human beings would recognize our human potential and exceed that and do everything that we are capable of doing. That's their thought process.
Okay.
I
I
don't, yeah, it's weird. It's a little, I don't know. It's
for sure.
And I could be wrong, but I think actually, at least one theory is it's not really even a flat Earth, but our Earth is on a much, much bigger Earth. Okay, so like our Earth, we're surrounded by the ice wall. Have you heard about the ice wall?
Yeah.
It's like Antarctica or whatever. So we're actually surrounded by that. But outside of that is an even bigger planet.
Right.
And we're just like this small little speck on a much, much bigger planet.
And that's nothing new. If you look at like Journey to the Center of the Earth and all of the talks about there being a inner core to the Earth where, you know, there's a whole bunch of crazy, you know, aliens or dinosaurs, etc. I've heard all that stuff. So it's like those aren't new conspiracies. I think they're just kind of putting a new spin on it.
Wow, so you're into all that. What's okay.
Oh yeah, you got a movie called Iron Sky. If you've never heard of this, you have got to watch. Just even watch the trailer will blow your mind. Iron and then space, the word sky, Iron Sky, man. And they've made 2 of these movies, and these are like 100% conspiracy-based movies, but they made them with a high budget. So it looks like a blockbuster film. It looks amazing. It's a little cheesy, but just the trailer alone is enticing, man. You'll definitely dig it.
Oh, okay. Is that YouTube or what?
Yeah, watch the trailer on YouTube, and then you could get it on Amazon Prime, and I think Netflix actually has Iron Sky right now.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I will tell. Yeah, I'm a big. Okay, I don't know if this is a conspiracy, but this is a theory, and this is one that I'm subscribing hard to for this year at least. Is simulation theory. I am basically living my life like I believe simulation theory is legit and that it's real. Are you not? Okay. Have you seen The Matrix?
Yes.
That's basically simulation theory. We are all just in this computer program.
Okay.
And you are your own. You're a character. So you Nick. You're your avatar of yourself. Your real body is elsewhere, but you're plugged into somehow a video game or a virtual reality, which is, indiscernible of reality. Wow. And so here you are, this is your life, but really you could wake up, when I don't know, I've been toying with the idea, like if you die or when you die, you just kind of wake up into the real world. Like, bam, you just wake up. You're out of this video game. This is just a fucking video game, man.
Wow. It sounds like
out of this thing.
Sounds like that movie Ready Player One a little bit.
Exactly like that. But yeah, it's like that. Yeah, essentially living in the oasis.
Wow. Yeah. And that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, have you read the book?
No.
Okay.
Better than the movie, huh?
Dude, the movie was a completely different story.
Really?
Are you into? Do you like audiobooks?
I do. I love audiobooks.
Ready Player One is a phenomenal audiobook. It's read by read by Will Wheaton.
Sounds familiar, but I can't place the face.
Okay, he was in Star Trek a long time, and then he was like one of the comic book guys in, oh shit, what was that nerdy show? That nerdy show on TV, Big Bang Theory.
Okay.
He was in that.
I know Will Wheaton. Yeah, I know he is.
He's got a great voice. He's a great voice actor for this. And there's a Ready Player 2.
Oh, there is?
A book. Not a movie, but the book. And it's an audiobook read by. I highly suggest. Yeah. If you thought the movie was good,
I did.
The audiobook is like, make some time. You can get through it pretty quickly. I
will check it out.
Really good.
Yeah, I mean, a big part of this for me, it's like I grew up on Blink-182. I love Blink-182. When they first came out, I wanted to dress like them. I wanted to be like them. And then one of the lead guys from Blink-182, Tom DeLonge, started talking about aliens. started
Yeah.
talking about UFOs and conspiracy theories. And I was like, wait, what? These guys had already made their money. Do you know what I mean? They were already multimillionaires who've sold millions of records. And I just thought it was so cool that he was open and honest about it. And I'm like him. I dig. I love to, theorize about, different conspiracies and different theories of what's really going on. And, I've been proven right so many times by my own research that it just keeps me going down the rabbit hole, man.
Oh, so yeah. You started getting into like 90s music kind of towards the tail end, I bet. Yeah,
Sure.
like Blink 182 was, I think, the last great band of the 90s.
I agree with that. That's a great statement. Yeah.
Yeah, and Tom DeLonge, are you into do you like to listen to podcasts at all? Like
I do.
Did you listen to him on Joe Rogan?
Yes. I loved it.
Yeah, it was so good. It was funny just
Well,
telling like he was telling his story like that, how he's been into it for so long. He'd be on the tour bus just looking out the window, looking for UFOs and shit.
Yeah, he inspired me a lot, man. He inspired me a lot to just keep seeking,
Yeah, there's got to be stuff out there. I have had like I said, I don't know how familiar you are with my podcast, but I have just an eclectic group. I've talked to.
I noticed that.
Okay, I've had some UFO hunters and ghost hunters on.
Oh, I haven't seen those episodes.
I got some good ones, man. Go through my list. I really do have some good episodes. I'm going to.
I get lost in that kind of stuff, man. I'll stay up till like 4 or 5 in the morning just watching, and listening to podcasts about conspiracy, aliens, government cover-ups, the works, man. I love it.
Okay, check out. I don't know what number it is, but it's labeled UFO Hunters, I think.
Okay.
And they tell me they've invited me. I've gone on a ghost investigation with them.
Dope.
For hunting with ghosts, and then they've invited me to go. They have a secret place. It's in the middle of fucking nowhere in like Colorado, like south, like in the deserty part of Colorado. Okay. And they told me this crazy story where they were out there and this weird, canyon. They heard like Indian drumming and woo, 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 like miles away. And they got scared. They went to bed and there was handprints on their vehicles. And like they heard all these noises and just crazy shit. Check that episode out. I mean, there's some, I don't know, man. People have different experiences.
Yeah, there's tons of accounts of like real ghosts happening and Amiettville and fucking, name it. There's tons of stories of alien ghosts and these shows exist for a reason. Like I'm literally just paused Ancient Aliens to hop on this call. And I'm like watching this stuff, like they're just, declassifying real truth about what's really going on this planet. But most people will never believe that it's real truth. So that's why it exists, hidden in plain sight. It's right there for you. And you could grab it, on the History Channel. And most people don't. A lot of people don't even know that show exists. So it's just like. I
was just going to say, I hope I'm close to being as entertaining for you as George Tsoukalos. I can fuck my hair up real quick for you.
Definitely.
Yeah, I was talking to the flat earth guy, and one of his conspiracies is that he doesn't believe in dinosaurs, and he doesn't believe in aliens. What he thinks is those are like beings or whatever from outside of the ice wall, that they're still on this huge planet. I was like, that would make more sense.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, don't make me think of flat earth. Like, but I could be more, I don't know if tricked is the right word, but maybe convinced. Cause like I said, I'm open minded. Might be convinced to like, maybe not the flat earth, but if we're on a spot on a much bigger globe, I could get down with that. And that would make more sense, like not necessarily aliens, but visitors outside of the ice wall coming on over, like somehow their technology found a way to get over here.
Sure. I'm a big believer in the underground reptilian agenda. So I don't know if you're familiar with this. But
please tell me. I would love to know. I've heard things here and there about reptilian, the reptile people, and like, does that have to do with like moon, a base on the other side of the moon type stuff?
Yeah, it does. It does. But basically, a lot of the majority of the belief is that reptilian hybrids or shapeshifters who can actually look like us are among us, and that a lot of these people that are in power and specific positions of power are actually part of this reptilian bloodline that goes all the way back to Alpha Draconis. And
What's Alpha Draconis?
That is a star system that's like you can actually see it from Earth.
Okay.
So it's not far away. And the theory is that these reptilians have an agenda. They're obviously organized, and that they're in positions of power, and that a lot of them are actually being hidden in underground military bases known as DUMBs, deep underground military bases. That's what DUMBs stands for. So if you research some of that stuff, man, you'll have a full week and probably a new podcast to start, because it's a massive amount of information. And some of the greatest minds and the greatest thinkers have confirmed that there are reptilian aliens, that shapeshifting is real, all this stuff. At the end of the day, we've seen we've watched so many Hollywood movies that tell us this story about, shapeshifting and reptilian aliens that look like the Sigourney Weaver aliens, that we're so, programmed to believe that that's a ridiculous notion. But my thing is, like, where do you think the movie comes from? And who would spend $350 million on something that's complete bullshit, that makes no sense in reality? If anything, it makes a lot more sense for the government and Hollywood to be involved in paying $400 million to make a picture that's going to program people to not know that there are aliens here on this planet living today.
Well, wouldn't they just keep us from even thinking of the idea of aliens?
Yeah, but
why would they pay for it to
with
put that out there?
That would be the smartest way to go. But these people practice hidden in plain sight. They believe that if you're reading a newspaper and directly in the middle in bold letters, it says aliens are coming to take over, that you're not even going to notice that because it's right there. It's the same thing as I was just talking about with Ancient Aliens, how that's a TV show you can pop on History Channel and it's telling you some real truth. But most people are like, oh, if it was true, why would it be on here? You see what I'm saying?
I do.
It's the best way to talk It's the best way to talk somebody out of it. So basically, if I told you the truth about some nefarious shit that I was doing on air right now, and it was really true, my alibi would be, well, why would I tell you? You see what I'm saying? Somebody would go, why would he tell you right on air? But I did. And
sometimes people drop the dime on themselves, You
what?
Sometimes people drop the dime on themselves. They want to get caught.
That's true.
Serial killers want to get caught.
Sure. But hidden in plain sight is a practice that's worked for eons. I mean, people, it's like that. You ever walk into a mall and you're staring at that picture and you're waiting for it to turn into something else?
That was 20 years ago, but
exactly. Yes. I'm old, man. I'm OG, man.
Kids don't know that shit no more, but yes, I remember.
Well, you do. You know what I'm talking. Your old ass knows what I'm talking about.
I could never see it. I could never see it either. I would cross my eyes, look up and down. I'd like stare at one spot, try to twist make my eyes look outwards. Like I could never see the fucking rainbow or the jet plane or whatever the hell it was. I could never see it.
I never saw it either, but it could have been right in the middle, and that's what I'm talking about right now. It could have been hidden in plain sight.
No, I do understand the hidden in plain sight argument, but but why? Like I don't know. I mean, okay, so this is what did you say? Alpha
Draconis.
Alpha Draconis is a star system.
Star system where these reptilian beings originally came from.
Okay, and they're trying to take over. When did they get here?
It's a lot of theories are different, but the main one is like over 6,000 years ago that these beings have been here for a very long time.
But we were here first.
I'm not sure of who came first. But at the end of the day, the theory is that they've been here and they've been controlling things on this planet and various other planets for a very long time.
What's their purpose? What are they controlling for? Gold?
I think ultimate control.
Control for what though? Like, I mean, like, do they need something for, like, Zachariah Sitchin has the Anunnaki who is here mining for gold because they need to put gold around their atmosphere to protect them from meteors and radiation, I believe. So right. What are what are these people doing here? What do they need control for? What are they trying to get from us that they need?
Well, one thing I will point out is that a truther who talked to David Icke a long time ago, named Arizona Wilder, actually called Zachariah Sitchin out for being one of these beings. And she said that everything that Zachariah puts out is disinformation, that he's working with the government, and so you really shouldn't listen to the majority of what he says. I haven't really delved that much into Zachariah's work to really know what he's trying to persuade people to believe, but I do believe
he's the one that pointed out the 10th planet Nibiru, I believe.
Right.
I mean, he's got to have some credibility there,
Sure.
one way or another.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I'll send you some links, man. Are you familiar with David Icke or no?
Yeah, I'm not familiar with much of his work, but that name, I think if you start saying a few things that he said, I'd be like, oh yeah, okay, that's David Icke.
Yeah,
I've heard that.
He's like one of the biggest reptilian proponents in the world. Like he's like the reptilian guy. So
okay.
I'll send you some Icke links so you can get a little more educated about it. But basically, David Icke has been saying that these beings are around. They control Hollywood. They control the political movement.
Wait a minute, you're in Hollywood.
That's true.
And are you being controlled?
Am I being controlled?
Yeah.
I'm being a little shadow banned right now.
Are you?
On Facebook and Instagram, it's been a little bit of a shadow ban, not getting anywhere near the type of traffic I was getting like the last summer. So I think that some of my views are not really in line with the elites. And so even though I'm signed to a major label, I've worked with huge acts, I think there is a goal to silence my opinions just a little bit, sure.
How open are you with your opinions on all this stuff?
I mean, you've heard me for the past 40 minutes. I'm pretty open
right,
about
but I'm just a nobody in Kansas City, bro. Like, are you hanging out with like somebody like you're saying like Snoop Dogg or French Montana, or like when you're hanging out, are you discussing this with them, or anybody else, like any big name producer or
yeah. I'm friends with everybody, man. I'm friends with all of them. So at the end of the day,
when you guys are in the studio, you guys got a couple blunts rolling up. I know how conversations can go. I mean, Snoop Dogg's fucking death row wreck. Like this, like he goes.
I try to separate my career as much as I can from my conspiracy theorism or talking about this kind of stuff. When I'm working with people in the studio, I'm all about business. I'm all about trying to get out of there as soon as possible with the best product, not waste anybody's time. But if they want to invite me to the party and the after party, they know what they're going to get.
All right. But what I'm saying is, if you're in Hollywood, you're already in there. You've been living there. You're working with these big names. If anybody's going to be infiltrated by the powers that be of these beings and these lizard people, if they would have their grips firmly in Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg is my mom asked me about my podcast from time to time, and I told her, I was like, yeah, I got this guy on today. I guess he's worked with Snoop Dogg. And my mom's almost 60, and I said Snoop Dogg, and she knows who that is. And she's like, oh, that's really cool. So Snoop Dogg's a household name. You would think he'd be one of those people that would have the tentacles of one of these reptilian people on him.
Sure.
Do you see that? Like, do you see it out there, or is it just so well hit? Like, it has to be more than a theory. If you're in Hollywood, you should be seeing this shit. Like, is there? I
mean, here's the thing. I'm totally honest. I'm never going to make up a story about something. I've never seen any reptilian aliens. I've never seen anything close to that in my life. At the same time, I've worked with a lot of these people in the rooms, and I can vouch for the fact that they didn't seem like they were reptilian, etc. But you don't really need to control every ticket goer if you control the guy who's breaking the tickets. You see what I'm saying? So
I got you.
One person in power in a very specific, powerful place of power, then you don't need to control Snoop Dogg if you're the label. You don't need to control Snoop Dogg if you're the publisher. You don't need to control. You see what I'm saying? Like,
okay, so who would you say are the main ticket pullers? Who are the main guys?
I would say people who make big decisions, the people who put the Grammys in other people's hands, the people who own the record labels, who own the owners of the record labels. Follow the money, and you're going to get to some really high places and see some really creepy people like David Rockefeller or the Queen or somebody who's related to them, who's their son, who now owns a record label. You know what I mean?
But they just want power on Earth. Like it's just like is this just what's the lifespan of one of these what's the lifespan of these lizard
That's
people?
very long lifespan. So basically, the theory is like, for instance, the queen has been around for thousands of years. That she's not just
She
like almost 100
shapeshifts.
years old.
She shapeshifts.
Yeah. Yeah, she finds a new body, etc., or they create a genetic clone to mask this skin over these reptilian aliens, and that they live for eons, man,
Eons.
or thousands of years. They've been
Sure.
around for a while.
Oh no, I get it. So okay. I mean their lives they must experience time different than us perhaps, or they just
Right.
are they are they carbon based? Are they like what are they made of? Like where are we getting this
Yeah, I believe
information?
they can breathe our oxygen, but I believe that the oxygen level underground is much more susceptible to them. So that's why a lot of them are in underground military bases. And if you just look at all of the military bases that are all across the world, like we're talking about Colorado, Cheyenne Mountain is a very famous one, etc. There's a lot of space and a lot of money that goes into fuck
No,
knows. Like we don't,
okay.
you know what I'm
There's
saying?
there's no underground bases that are alien. There's no. All right.
It's possible.
It's
Anything's
not. It's
possible.
not. It's not with our military. You would. It has to be a super secret military. It cannot have any way involved with the Air Force or the Army or the Navy. And when you talk
Sure.
about the underground bases in like Colorado, those are Air Force.
Yeah, we're talking about is something inside of the inside. So basically, like you said, it would have to be a super small, cabal of people that know about this, that are organizing this, and are involved to some degree with
There's
the
no
military.
way. There's no way.
But and
There's no way
the
our
military
military.
doesn't
No.
know. Shooting me down.
You're in my you're in my world now, Nick. You fucked up. You fucked up. All right, I'm gonna school you real quick. Especially with the Air Force. I'm a military brat, and there's a million
Okay.
military brats out there, and I'm not. I got some whiskey in me. I got some wine in me. I'm feeling good, so I'm feeling loose. So I'm not shitting on any service out there. But I grew up as an Air Force brat. When you talk about Colorado, that's an Air Force base,
Uh-huh.
and so I grew up. I'm not gonna name names or get to whatever. My dad was kind of a somebody in the Air Force.
Okay.
Kind of a somebody. Like he's kind of a somebody, all right.
Okay.
And he knows shit. And this is not happening. Like there's no underground bases, and there's just not like he has. It's just not like. At least not that. I'm not saying there's no lizard people elsewhere, but as far
Sure.
as entangled with the U.S. military, it's not. It's going to have to be somewhere else. And I know there was.
Okay.
I know there was a Israeli space program dude that just came out and said there are underground bases on Mars, and that we've been
Right.
working with aliens for a very long time now.
Yep.
Look, I'll listen to you on that. But if you're
Yeah.
gonna, but you can't come at to me with United States domestic military working with an underground cabal with lizard people. That's just not true. That's not.
Well, here's the thing. At the end of the day, the amount of military bases that are around every city and almost every state is what leads people to believe that something nefarious is going on, if not reptilian aliens, some sort of extraterrestrial, whether it's like reverse engineering, etc. I mean, a guy named Bill Lazar came out who worked for S9.
I like Lazar. I like
Like,
Bob Lazar. He seems
Bob,
credible. I like him. Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's like that theory, I feel like, has kind of evolved into a greater theory. But at the end of the day, you got to look at all these stories and connect them together and say something nefarious is going on underground involving our military. And who better to be the parent on such a topic than United States military, the Navy, etc. You know what I mean? Like that's who would kind of moderate this kind of stuff, don't you think?
No, because if your theory is that these lizard people have been here for eons, but yet the current popular theory with aliens is they kind of started intervening with us once we started developing the atomic. Yes.
Atomic bomb. Yeah.
So I just don't. That timeline doesn't seem correct. I think they
Well,
would
just
have intervened
infiltration.
before that.
That. Here's the thing. You like Star Trek, right? So
I've
Wrath of
never seen
Khan,
Star
like,
Trek. I've never seen it.
oh, okay. All right. So
I wish I
I'm
would have.
talking about,
I just read a book. I just got into a big like 5-book series, and they mentioned Star Trek a bunch of times. It's a science fiction book. I was like, I should have gotten into that.
well, here's the thing. Infiltration at the end of the day is what we're talking about. So if these beings can look like us and be among us, then it's very possible that they could have turned into a military general. And you see what I'm saying? Like, that's really where the belief is coming from, is that they're saying that possibly one of the lead military guys is not human and therefore is, censoring and hiding a lot of alien technology and information. And that's how they do it. They infiltrate, which we've seen in so many movies. Have you ever seen The Faculty with Josh Hartnett? That's what
I can't. No,
world.
it's not. It's not with the military. If it's done with anything, it's not with the U.S. military. I promise you. My dad had some crazy clear to the fucking nuclear. Like, if my dad was like basically the nuclear owner, like the fourth if he was a country at this certain time, he was like the fourth largest nuclear power on the planet Earth. And there's like I'm saying, I'm not just blowing smoke. Like, I would.
No, I can dig it.
Some fucking.
Do you have any crazy stories from him?
Nope. No. I've asked too. I've asked. I've tried. He's like, nope.
No UFO sightings?
Huh?
No UFO sightings or anything like that?
Nope. And he was a you know what? I don't know how comfortable I am talking
Disclosing?
about. Yeah. Like, I'll talk to you. I can talk to you off air, but as I'm speaking, sure. Like, I don't necessarily, it's not like this is like, I just don't,
I can dig it.
I know he spent a lot. He was in the Air Force. He spent a lot of time in the air, of time in the air. And I've asked him, and you know what? I've also had another guy on. I had a guy on my podcast that was in the Air Force and then also turned into an air pilot. And now he's like a cryogenics dude.
Oh, wow.
But I was like, dude, like, have you seen any aliens? Like, I just heard about the Go Fast video and the Tic Tac video and the Commander Faber video, like all that stuff. And I was like, dude, have you heard of that? No, what, the Go Fast?
What's the Go Fast? Yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude, this is like the legit shit. Now this is like real alien shit.
I feel like we're going to be sending each other links all night.
Yeah, you should be writing this shit down. So Go Fast or Commander Faber and the Tic Tac video. So this guy, he's in the Navy. He's a Navy pilot.
Okay.
And he was flying over Pacific Ocean. And all of a sudden saw this like Tic Tac flying thing. And started tracking it, but he couldn't, and this thing was actively jamming the radar, which is that's an act of war,
right?
And they didn't know what it was. It went from 60,000 feet to 1 foot above the water in a matter of a second, and started moving. No. Yes, there's video. The Pentagon released this video. It's on YouTube. It's everywhere. And then
I might have seen the video on this actually.
And another crazy thing was the craziest thing is this is the most sophisticated instruments on planet Earth on these jet fighter planes that we have, and it couldn't really get a good track on it necessarily, and then it was jamming its radar, and then the planes were going to a certain destination, like they had a certain route that they were taking. The Tic Tac thing got there before it was supposed to get there, and was basically waiting on it to get there.
Wow.
And like these movements it was doing, it was like if there was like a human being in there, you would be a scrambled egg. Like it was so fast. And so now there's different theories of like, how is this? Is this like a manipulation of time and space? Are these different
Sure. What do you think about wormhole? What do you think about like wormholes, time travel, that kind of stuff?
I wish I knew more about it. I know an article I just saw popped up the other day that wormholes are actually possible. theoretically. And I was like, oh shit, like how realistic is this? Like we could be doing this podcast in person. Like you could be in my studio right there,
Right,
sitting
right.
like 3 feet from me in a matter of just a couple seconds. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, I don't know. I have a theory. Like so, like I said, I'm using this. I'm pretending this year I'm in a simulation. And so I was kind of thinking of like, how can I explain the Go Fast video going from 60,000 feet to 1 foot like that? And I was like,
Yeah,
if this is just a big computer, the head guy, the god, if you will, the master
sure.
controller of this video game, of this simulation, maybe it's just a mouse. You know what I mean? And he's just clicking his little, it's like the arrow on the mouse. He's going, choo, choo.
That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah, underground. Yeah, so I can't get down with the underground military bases connected to United States military. If you want to tell me
That's all right.
if you can tell me there's one elsewhere on a different military in like China or Russia or India or something like that, I can't speak upon that. But with the
Sure.
United States military, there's no connection. There's just not.
Okay. Well, I'm going to send you some links.
I know I'm not going to change your mind. I'm not trying to change your mind on everything, but on that, like, no.
Well, it would help me. It would help me sleep better at night to know that it wasn't real. So I'll take your advice on that.
That part's not real. There's a lot of scary shit to worry about with militaries across the world. I mean, look at Pakistan and India. Like if we're gonna have an end of a world event, they will probably play a large event in that if it's man created.
Sure.
I don't know, but maybe we need it. You know, maybe society needs it. Maybe humankind needs a reset. You ever thought about that?
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot about the Great Reset, and it looks like we're getting a Great Reset if you really look at what's going on with this whole cancel culture. And you know what I mean? Like my kids won't know who Pepe Le Pew is, or you know what I mean? Like Winnie the Pooh and all this shit. It's crazy.
Wait. They're not canceling Winnie the Pooh, are they?
Oh yeah, Winnie's on the hot seat, baby.
You're kidding.
Yeah, no. So I don't know exactly what it is, but I know Winnie the Pooh is up for cancellation.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
No.
They're coming after the Pooh, baby.
You can't. You got to be fucking kidding me. They are not coming after Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah. I mean, they're coming after Dr. Seuss.
All right.
Yeah,
all right.
I would be a lot more instrumental than Winnie the Pooh. You know what I mean? That's like OG.
I grew up on Winnie the Pooh too. Like that's some fond childhood memories.
Same. What about Dr. Seuss?
I was never a big. I don't like Dr. Seuss. I don't like his stupid rhyming.
You don't like his bars?
I do not like his bars at all. His bars are weak. You know, like those are like weak, like 1990s white boy freestyle bars. Like I'm a box and a fox. What's up now? Yo, I got some big white socks. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. I ain't trying to hear that.
No effort involved.
Yeah. Winnie the Pooh. What could they possibly be coming at Winnie the Pooh for?
I'm not sure what it is, but I know that he's on the hot seat.
Okay. Well, I did make it. Yeah.
Trouble.
All right. Well, fuck. They can't go after the Pooh. They can't.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's crazy.
So you don't really get to any conspiracy theories when you're kicking it with these big name artists. What do you guys talk about? Anything?
I mean, I try to keep it professional. It's usually about the music that we're creating or the artists that we're working with, etc., or the money that we're making. You know what I mean? Like it's usually a happy environment. It's not like, you know.
So it's all professional. Like you guys aren't like hanging out. Is it?
Yeah, it's all just business, man.
Okay. Do you have any fun? Like, who are you talking about your conspiracies with? Like, what kind of people are you hanging out with? Like, who do you hang out with?
To be honest with you, man, I'm with my lady 24/7. We don't take a break from each other. We live with each other. I do everything with her. She helps me shoot my music videos, and then she kicks it with my family. My family kicks it with her family, and vice versa. And that's my circle right now. A lot of the work that I do is done remotely. You know, I grab my laptop, I hop on Pro Tools, I produce the track, I send it via email, and then next thing you know, it's on Billboard or something. So for the most part, I'm doing everything from the house. Especially after the coronavirus hit. Like, you know, my studio at Jim Henson Studios shut down and has not reopened. So it's just been 100% at home, just doing everything manually, remotely.
You're doing it, man.
Yeah, man. Hustling. Out here hustling, man.
I've always wanted to go to California. I've never been.
You never been?
I know. I'm very embarrassed to say that.
That's on the bucket. Yeah, you got to see Hollywood.
I do. If I come out,
wait till Corona shit's over. Yeah.
If I come out, can I kick it with you?
Yeah, man. Let's do a live interview.
All right. I'll grab a beer.
Sure.
You don't drink, right?
I'll play you all my deep underground military bases, reptilian agenda videos.
And we're gonna FaceTime my dad.
And we'll FaceTime your dad. I love it.
Hell yeah. Shit, what was I gonna say? Yeah, so you just kick it with your lady. Yeah, so what's LA like right now? I hear some horror stories, like the homeless population, I guess.
That's real. It's right by my house. Insane. I pass this freeway going up to my house in Hollywood, and it's absolutely insane. Every time we pass it, I tell my girlfriend, lock it up, because it's just like, it's so bad, man. Like, they're living, you know what I mean? Like, they're living in tents on the street. Like, it's a community. It's a bunch of people. And with, you know, with everything that's happening in the world right now, you can get an average Joe who maybe lost his job or got sick with Corona, and all of a sudden he's homeless. So it's not just like people that have been homeless for a long time. A lot of this is new people that are just struggling right now.
It's not like the normal homeless person, drug dude, or like guy that's running away from something. It's like, I'm homeless because I have no other option.
People there, but yeah. It's like some of them don't even have a full beard yet, man. They're still growing.
Well, when is that? Was it since Corona or was it before that? Like I've heard stories of it. It's
been bad. It's been bad for the past couple of years. It's just getting worse and worse out here.
What are you going to do? Like, do you plan on staying there for like, I don't know. What's Hollywood like right now? Like I see some people in the entertainment business and some certain parts of entertainment business moving to other places like Austin or Nashville.
Well, for the first time in the 10 years that I've been actively living in Hollywood, this is the first time I don't need to be in Hollywood because everything's done from my house. So it's kind of killed the whole Hollywood scene, the whole Hollywood parties. All that shit is kind of a wash right now. So I'm waiting around to see if it clears up because this is where I'm from. I love it here. But at the same time, I'm like, I could be paying half for what I'm paying right now in a much bigger house in Las Vegas or somewhere like that. So I'm definitely, you know, peeping my options.
Well, Kansas City's got a real great cost of living here. It's a booming town.
Is it?
It is. Oh, really? It really is. It's like the next. A lot of people have said it's like the next. It's like a smaller Austin. It's like the next Austin.
Were you crying during the Super Bowl, or are you not a football fan?
I'm a football fan, but I'm not a Chiefs fan. I'm actually a Tom Brady fan. Like I was like, yes.
They don't want you there.
Yeah, they don't. They hate me. But I thought the story, I thought Tom Brady winning was a much better story than Patrick Mahomes winning. Like the old man leaves Belichick. Is it Belichick or is it Brady? Is it Belichick or is Brady that has the dynasty? It's not Belichick. Brady went to a brand new team with, you know, not scrubs. He has some good players, but fucking ripped one from Mahomes. Mahomes, you got to come on. I'm the old man. I still got shit up my sleeve. Come on.
Yeah, he played so well in that Super Bowl, man. It was very inspiring. I think it's a great story. It's a great story for America. It's a great story in general. And you got to respect Tom Brady, man. He's the GOAT.
He is the GOAT. Like well, I love witnessing history when you know you're witnessing history. Like when you saw Tiger Woods doing what he was doing.
Right.
It's just, I don't know. Like, yeah. We saw Michael Jordan, like watching Michael Jordan in his prime. Like I got to witness that shit. I got to see, it was amazing. And then when you get to recognize Tom Brady, I don't understand the hate. Like people want to hate on a winner, but like, do you understand where this dude, like he was one of the last people picked as a
Yeah.
quarterback. Like, I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's true.
And I was born and raised in Michigan. So I was a Michigan,
Okay.
I was a Michigan fan. And so
Oh, wow.
he won me a championship at Michigan in 1997.
Wow.
It was a
Yeah.
co-championship with Nebraska, but he won it. Then goes on, and now he's winning. That's my boy. Like,
Yeah. It's
40
inspiring for
something.
sure.
Like, how can you not root for a 40-something-year-old old man and the NFL whipping Patrick Mahomes, the 25-year-old kid that's, oh, this dude does no look passes.
Yeah.
Big deal.
Who cares?
Like, you know what I mean? This is fucking Tom Brady. Like, talk to me when you got like championship after championship.
I agree. I'm a diehard Dallas Cowboys fan. I don't know how that's going to go over
No,
with your
I'm
listeners,
sorry.
but it was still inspiring to watch Brady, and I still rooted for him throughout the whole Super Bowl, and I was like very excited for him to win that. And I'm not the biggest Patrick Mahomes fan, so it was special.
Is there a reason you're not a Patrick Mahomes fan?
I just it's something about the Chiefs.
I have to do
man.
something for a second, but I am here. Keep talking.
I think I just secretly hate the Chiefs. They just started being successful. I don't know a problem with Andy Reid. I like Andy Reid, but I just think that the Chiefs, like, I don't know, they just came up into success. This kid seems like he never gets hit hard, and it just annoyed me. He just seemed like the kid in school who I might not like, and so it was fun. It was fun to see Luke. I'm not gonna lie,
dude. That's what it is. He seems like the dude in school I wouldn't have liked. You fucking nailed it. Because I'm the same way. I keep trying to pin it. I was like, he just doesn't seem fun to me. He's married to his high school sweet. I don't want to put my foot in my mouth. Are you married to your high school sweetheart, Nick?
Am I what?
Are you married to your high school sweetheart?
No.
Okay. Okay. So I won't put my foot in my mouth again. So like, that's my thing with Patrick Mahomes is he's married to his high school sweetheart. She's not even that attractive. Like, she's fine. And I'm not trying to be whatever, but it's like, dude, you're like I don't know. Like, it just seems like I'm cynical. I'm cynical. I want a rock star. Sure. I want a Joe Theismann or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, smoking on the sideline, banging hot chicks. Like, I don't know, man. I want that lifestyle. Like, vicariously live through my court. I don't want him to be I don't know. Tom Brady's banging models.
We all appreciate experience, and that's really what Tom Brady has. Like, we've been watching Tom Brady throw the football for the past 15 years, and he has a lot more experience than Patrick Mahomes, and therefore I think it's a lot easier to root for him and to appreciate what he's doing. He's put a lot more time and effort into it than Patrick Mahomes has. So
yeah, I mean, he's definitely earned it. I mean, you definitely have to say something for experience. It says a lot. I mean, that's why he's the GOAT, right?
100%.
And then 100%. He just signed for 4 more years. Gronk's coming back.
Oh, I didn't know that. So Brady signed with the Bucs for 4 more years?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's crazy. That's awesome.
I hate that. I actually hate that now. Like, because I want him, like, I wanted him to do maybe like 1 more year. And if he didn't win it, but made a good run, good. Go out. You won a Super Bowl ring. You went out going on a playoff loss. Like, but 4 more years, like, he's good and he's got experience, but his strength isn't.
That's a long time. That's a long time.
His strength, his arm strength has lost. I don't know, but maybe I don't want to be a doubter. I can't doubt him. I'm not going to, you know what I mean? Like, everyone doubts him, but he keeps proving everybody wrong. But there is going to be a point where he is done. And I want to see him finish before he's a Peyton Manning.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to see him walk off that field and just call it with the Super Bowl in his hand with another ring. But I it's all about doing it again and seeing if he could Brett Favre it. So
it's got to be an incredible high when at like this year, I think this year had to be almost as special as his first Super Bowl to him. I bet you this felt maybe even more special to him. Like, holy shit. holy
Sure.
shit,
Yeah.
like this was me. This wasn't this wasn't quote unquote the system. Like I really am. I think that might have been like his realization. And
Yeah,
now
I think
he's
he had to
like,
prove it to himself, you know?
I think you're right. I think he did have to prove it
Yeah.
to himself. And now he's like, I'm gonna do 4 more years. But I see now, I don't know. Does he have 4 more years? Or did he just sign
I
for
don't think
four
it's
more
four
years?
more, no.
Maybe he'll just do one more and retire, just early retirement, but just sign 4 more years to like scare people or something.
Yeah, that might just be for the media hype, man. Like he's crawling into a bed with Giselle in another year, I think, and calling it.
I was talking to a conspiracy theorist. I cannot remember which one it was. I have talked to a few, and they said that Giselle and Tom Brady sold their house, one of their houses in New England, and they bought like an underground bunker.
Oh wow,
You don't,
interesting.
okay, you're not aware of that. Okay, I thought that might have.
No,
And
no,
then of course, Tom Brady is friends with Trump.
I didn't know that. I know that there's some connection. He like supported Trump, and people got really upset about that.
Right.
I think he wore like a MAGA hat or something.
Yeah, and I think they're kind of buddy buddy.
Good friend. Wow.
Um, so there was just kind of like this, oh hey, Tom Brady's friends with Trump and he sold his mansion and he's buying an underground complex.
Interesting.
Like, well, should we read between the lines?
Sure, I got to read into that. That sounds interesting.
And now Tom Brady's ripping off Super Bowls way later than maybe he should be. Maybe he's a lizard person. Could
It's
Tom Brady
very
be a
possible.
lizard person?
Like I said, very powerful people in very powerful places. No more powerful than the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like, it's very possible, man.
Nick, what's next for you, man? Where are you going? So you have a couple. You got a
Um,
country album. You got an R&B album. You got some
I got
YouTube
a
videos. You got
self-titled.
The Addict.
Yeah,
Or is it called The Attic?
yeah, you saw that? Yeah, right on, man.
Good
That's my latest
video.
video.
I love
I
your.
got another. Go ahead.
I really love. I meant to mention this earlier. I love your Instagram pictures. I love your YouTube
Awesome.
pictures. I love the really bright. It's just super bright and looks good. And you look
Yeah,
you look like you're having a really good time. You look
I'm having a blast.
you look larger than life. You look like
Thank
a
you.
dude that had like I don't know, like to be honest, like I don't clout chase and I'm not a big fan of clout chasers. And you hit me up randomly and I get especially rappers, I get local rappers that will just go, yo, put me on your podcast. I'm like, that's not any way to come at me. And you
Sure.
came at me, you were like, oh, hey, man, can I come on your podcast? I like what you're doing or whatever. And I was
Yeah.
like, let me see who the fuck this dude is. I was like, oh, shit. Homeboy's got 125K. Like, I don't need to look at anything more. Like, yeah, I'm clout chasing. Let's see what happens with Homeboy.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
So I shot another music video right before we started this podcast today. Once we get off this podcast, I'm gonna go edit it and add effects to it, and
cool.
it'll probably be up. It'll probably be up by tonight. And then I have a self-titled album coming out called Unentitled. And so that'll drop, I'd say, in the next 2 months or so. But I produce music and I write it, so I'm constantly working on new stuff and putting it out. I mix, I master. With the videos, like I said, my girlfriend pretty much shoots the videos and then I add the effects and edit it myself. So we're just like, you know, a team and we're running and gunning, man. So expect a lot more music videos, a lot more songs, a lot more Instagram posts, etc.
You really are like a straight up. Is your girlfriend right there? Like, can she hear us? Has she been here this whole
Yeah,
time?
she can she's back here.
You guys are like a real hardcore team. Like, you guys do everything
Okay.
and like just a solid team. How long
Oh,
you
yeah,
guys been
big time.
together?
How long have we been together, baby? That's a girlfriend question. 3
Right.
years. 3 years. I'm supposed to know that. 3 years.
No, you're not supposed to know that. I'm glad she's there. Like, I wouldn't know.
I don't remember when.
That's
Whenever
cool.
I picked her
Okay,
up, that's how long.
That's really cool, man. Like, you're kind of like a power couple, huh? Just like she helps you, she supports you,
100%.
she's helping you build your shit.
Yeah, she's an amazing makeup artist. If you
That's
go through my
cool.
video catalog, you'll see she did Avatar, she did Beetlejuice. These are all music videos of mine where we recreated the characters, but they look incredible. They look like Hollywood cinema. We did Shrek. We did name it. What else we do, baby? We did an alien video where we took kind of have you ever seen the movie Galaxy Quest?
Yeah, of course.
I love that movie. So we took the lizard-looking reptilian from that video. She did all the makeup for that. If you see these videos, the makeup's incredible. It's really a big part of my success and my project is that people are seeing like amazing makeup all coming from her. So
you're a hustler. You got it. You got the colors. You got the act. You got the look. Got the flow. So yeah, what all is next? And like, do you have other than that like movies, TV, any other more reality shows? Would you do reality again?
Oh gosh, they'd have to pay me a handsome fee this time.
Really?
I'll tell you that much. Yeah, it wasn't the best experience going on reality TV, brushing my teeth 10 times for the camera so they could get it right. That's not my vibe. I'm like you said, I'm real, man. I'm very organic. I like to I don't really care how many followers you have or what your platform is. If I like what you're doing, I want to be a part of it. I want to help it grow on my channel and vice versa. And I'd say what's next for me is a lot more music videos, a lot more music coming out, and eventually a move towards television and film as an actor, because I have it in my blood. My family is all actors and actresses. So it's definitely a passion of mine for sure.
I can tell. I think you'll be good at it. You're you're a handsome fella. You got the charisma. Yeah, thanks. You got the charisma for it.
If that's what 41 looking like, I'm not mad at it. You're looking good, baby.
I know. I'm a Kansas City dime. I'm fucking around. I got alcohol in me. But yeah, you got the charisma. I could see you, like, I could totally see you on like some like TV cop show, like what NCIS or something.
Hey, if Ice-T ain't doing it or cutting it for people lately, man, I'm cool to just come in and sub for him. You know what I'm saying?
What do you think about Ice-T going from cop killer to cop on a TV show?
I think it's a good example of how Hollywood and media controls people that seem to be a problem. It's no accident that we've lost some of our greatest voices: John Lennon, Michael Jackson, Tupac Shakur, etc. More recently, this Triple X kid, Extension. A lot of people who seem to have a voice and want to start an uprising, they seem to get silenced. So I think Ice-T is one of those who they didn't kill him, but they did kill him. You know what I'm saying?
Holy shit. They gave him Coco, that badass white blonde with them big fake titties and a fat ass.
Coco can control anybody. she's part of the controlled opposition, man.
Holy shit. You're saying Ice-T just got controlled and just like, yo, stop with that shit. But we don't want to kill you, but you'd make a great actor on being a cop.
100%, man. It's like, it's such a mind fuck that he was cop killer and
that
now he's
is a mind fuck. Oh my God.
A little too obvious.
Whoa.
A little too obvious.
You've thought about that before, huh?
Oh, big time. I had my answer prepped for you.
You did. I thought I might have had one on you.
Never that.
Whoa. Are there any other kind of any people that you would think would be compromised?
I hate to say this, but the old Eminem that I grew up on is not the same Eminem today. He looks different.
No, I don't know.
Different. I would say that he was somebody that the government would definitely want to control. I mean, he had the people raging. Him and Marilyn Manson were really changing the culture for a while, and then all of a sudden, not so much.
But the thing with Marilyn Manson is he was going for a long time, and they didn't silence him till just recently. Like there was no point. There was no point for that. Like he's not like Marilyn Manson was making a surge. I don't think. So that was kind of weird timing.
You heard about some of the accusations of Marilyn Manson?
Yeah, there's. They're very. I don't remember. There's some kind of young sexual accusations, maybe perhaps.
Child trafficking or child abuse was definitely in the mix, which is crazy, man.
Yeah, I'm
crazy. He got busted for human trafficking, child trafficking.
Busted
from Atlanta.
Busted or accused?
Yeah. He got busted. Yeah, he's busted for it. Newsweek came out with like a whole thing on him. Hollywood Reporter said he's not going to be in the next Ant-Man because of the sexual allegations and stuff. So he's in the hot seat. I know that. Him and his girlfriend, Tiny, I think her name is.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, wife. My girlfriend is correcting me. She's like, wife.
I remember they were in the hot seat. Well, I remember T.I. was in the hot seat recently for saying some stuff about his daughter. Like he was having his daughter checked to see if her hymen
What?
was punctured to make sure she was still a virgin, I think. Like there was some weird like
Sounds suspicious.
like Google that shit.
I'm going to.
Like Google T.I. daughter hymen or
Okay.
sexual or sex what would you call that? Sexual physical type thing, physical checkup or
Okay.
something. Like he was I think he had some kind of weird thing where like he wanted to make sure his daughter was like a virgin and pure or whatever. But meanwhile, T.I. is, T.I. You don't know me.
Yeah.
Grew up slanging all the
now.
drugs on the corner and shit. And he's worried about his daughter fucking banging.
You're spot on. He had his daughter do a genealogical exam for her hymen and therefore virginity to be checked, and practiced condemned as humiliating and traumatic by the World Health Organization. My girlfriend has pulled it up.
I speak
Crazy,
truths.
man.
I speak truths, man.
You do, baby. You do.
I might not be the biggest platform, but let me tell you, if you find out about me, I am the best.
Well, that's one thing I did want to say before we got off is that I don't want to be too preachy, but you are somebody, you do mean something. Your podcast, however many followers, you affected me and I loved your work and I wanted to get on and talk with you. So if anything, just keep that in mind and keep going up, bro, because that's the only place you're going is up.
Fuck, man, you gave me goosebumps. You gave me goosebumps. Thanks, bro.
Hey, listen, at the end of the day, the government and whatever you want to call it, media, Hollywood, corporate America, they all want to make us think that we're nobody. They all want to make us think that we're not something. Therefore, that we don't say anything and that our voices do not matter and that our voices are not powerful. But I'm here to reinstate the belief that you are powerful. You do mean something. And I appreciate what you're doing.
Shit, bro. Thanks, man. Let me tell you something. My goal is to get big. I want to be as big as I can possibly get. I want to be the next Joe Rogan, if I'm being frank, like that size.
Right on.
And I'm going to tell you something right now. I will never sell out. I'm not a fucking reptile. If anything happens, like I'm keeping it real. They're not getting to me, Nick. They're not going to get to me.
I like it.
That's the last I got to say. Nick, what would you like to say before we get off here? I had a blast with you.
I want to thank you. Yeah, this was a blast, man. I want to thank you for having me on. Obviously, plug myself at Nick Nittoli, NickNittoli, and that's on every platform: Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, iTunes, you name it. I'm on there. And yeah, man, thanks for having me. This was dope.
Dude, thanks for coming on, man. Let's. I'd love to do this again.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, especially if you come to LA, man, we're gonna have to call your dad on FaceTime and do it.
I promise you, I will. If I come to LA, I will promise to look you up, and I will FaceTime my dad.
Let's do it, man.
I promise that we will. All right. This was cool, man.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for having me on, brother.
All right, man. Take care.
All right, man. Peace.
Bye.